Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. We are playing Satisfactory, Update 5. It's now in early access, as you can see up in the top left. We're no longer in experimental, which also means that I can employ mods, of which I have two, just to get it out there right there in the beginning. One of which is permaday, so it's always daylight, and that's just going to help us with building things. I'll turn it off when we're not in the process of building random stuff and kind of exploring a little bit. And then the other one is pure resource nodes. Every single node in the game is a pure node. To me, this makes it more fun. I don't have to deal with the math of combining different nodes or what have you, and then we could just build bigger, which is exactly what I want to do. You may ask, why are we in this random little area over here? Well, there are 4 oil nodes here that we're going to collect because this is where we're building our, okay, if I hit the right button, this is where we're building our fuel generators. If you look at the list here on the side, 4 oil extractors at pure. Overclock to 600 is what we're going to do. Going into 40 refineries, producing fuel, and then we're going to put it into 80 fuel generators. This ratio is not the way it is, but we're going to overclock the fuel generators. And then I brought some additional resources for awesome sinks. But let's get some of these resources and everything into the appropriate boxes just so that we have them covered. Let's put this in there. And we'll take all of these out because we're going to start building our platform. That might not be enough, but I could always go grab more if need be. So I feel like I've got the majority of stuff. We're going to take the Xeno Basher out. We'll take that. We'll take this just because we're going to have to go and clear some stuff out over there for sure. I've got gas mask and I also have a jetpack now. A little bit of fuel, and I bought the fuel from just tickets. Because obviously I haven't built a fuel factory just yet. Okay, let's maybe put this over there somewhere. Okay, so let's look to see where the oil nodes are. Okay, so one in that direction, the other one's in this direction. You'll also notice that I've got a giant roadway. It actually spans all the way up. So that's our base up there. So it goes all the way here, here, and then this is actually where our new base is. I've got train setups and all that stuff. I'll walk you through it, but this is why we're building this fuel generator setup today, because ooh boy, that base is going to be power hungry. You know, I just realized I didn't bring any materials for pumps. Not specifically, we might have some overlap in materials, but I guess we'll find out. And the plan is to get a train station over here. Okay, so I see one resource node there. I see one right there. Is that another one right there, I think? Alright, let's scan them again. There. There. Oh, where was the other one? Over there? Oh, it's right there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I believe. So I am going to build it pretty close to the ground because I don't want to use pumps if I don't have to. The problem is we're going to have to find the space. So maybe I'll build it in that area. But stuff like that is why I am trying to be slightly more careful. let this little thing run out. It is remarkable sometimes at how accurate that shit can be. Oh my goodness. It's been a little bit. Okay. Okay, so we got the one here. One, I believe.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Okay. Siri, I never ask you anything. Shut up. We got the one right here. Let's clear these out. Okay. Okay, so they're pretty spread out, which kind of sucks. Because I wanted to route them all kind of in one spot. But let's start planning out what that looks like. So we're going to do our usual thing. I'm going to go get some iron plates to map out what height we're going to do this at. By connecting it to the roadway, we are in line with the world grid. So when I build that base down there, I built it on the world grid and not what our base was over here. It'll just make it easier for us to build stuff and make sure that it snaps accordingly. I could just start building platforms down below, but I also want it to line up wall-wise if possible. So, you know, height-wise accordingly. I have this hypertube network because going back and forth and gathering supplies for both sides was a lot, especially just driving back and forth with the Explorer. So I built that. Still takes a while. I can walk into the kitchen, grab myself something to eat, grab a beer, come back, and I'm still going. Okay. So it's here. Two. 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe we just. Yeah, maybe we'll go that way. Is this coal? No, iron. I don't need that. I guess I didn't need coal either, but. Okay. So let's see where the. Yeah, this actually kind of, I think, is perfect. I'm going to try to limit the foundations as much as possible to just the lines that we want. So like that's going to be the one, and then the next one is there. This might be too low. Let's see. Oof, look at all of this. Well, we're going to have plenty of these alien organs. Ooh. Oil is always a highly protected resource because of the relative scarcity. Okay, I think we could deal with that not being direct. Well, I don't know. Let's maybe raise it up a little bit and just have the pipe come down. So maybe I'll just bump it up one. Okay, and then that'll be that's node number 2. So we'll combine them probably. Okay, we got that one. That one, that one. Wait, am I missing one? Hold on. Why can't I remember where the other one is? Is it over here? Yeah. Okay. So then we'll combine. This could be 2 wide. This one, weirdly enough, not protected. I don't know if I brought enough concrete to make this happen, but I've got plenty at the other base, and if I need to, that's probably the closer one, or I'm pretty close to dead center between the two of them. This looks slightly closer. Okay, and then the last one is here, and what we're going to do is just bring these 3 right next to it so it'll join up, and then we'll build in that direction, I think. Then we'll have to figure out how we do the layout, because this will be a pretty big build. Okay, why are we not selecting this? Don't know how that got unequipped, but somehow it did. Alright. We still got the big boy here. He's probably going to launch another volley. Okay. And then the last group is that. What do we got here? So we do have some of these with us. If it's like one of the S's or some shit, I don't care. Yep, I don't care. Okay. So we're going to bring all 3 onto basically this line. We'll make this 2 wide. So we can just do 2 and 2. Get out of here. Okay. And so let's just make this 2 wide from the get-go. From maybe like right from this one will go onto this line maybe. Those 2 come in this way, come over here, and that one. Okay, 2 of those come over here, 1 of those, and this one come over here. And now we got to figure out how to lay the foundation out for this massive build. What if we go this way a bit? And that way? And then we'll go like so. And I don't know if that's wide enough. Because if you look, it's 40 refineries and 80 fuel generators. Okay. So we're going to go another 6 this way. Let's see. I still don't think that that's big enough. And then let's get rid of these just so that they're not a problem. Okay, that was weird. That one just didn't want to blow up. I have a gas mask with me also, so we could just survive in this, but okay, it's just the little ones. Great time for an autosave. Don't know if I mentioned this already, but this video is likely to be a little bit longer, which I'm sure you already know just based off of the length of this video, but as I was thinking about this build, I'm like, I don't know if it is possible for this to be a short one. Man. There we go. I'll pick up the extra stuff. Those are exactly materials that we're using in this build. Oh, weird. Nothing even required? Hell yeah. I mean, I guess there was a lot surrounding this. I'm just going in here to clear some crap out right now. Just so we don't have to really deal with it while we're building. I think I overshot that, but I hit the...
Widespread chaos and mayhem. World President urges all citizens to do their part and harvest alien artifacts.
Oh, that worked? Wow. I did not feel like that was close enough to... Xenobasher, infinitely better at killing those things than the little cattle prod you get at the start. Okay, the things that I will like go out of my way for are if it looks like it's a power slug, like this looks like a power slug. Because we are probably going to need quite a bit of let's do this. Move that there and that there. We're going to need quite a bit of power shards since we're overclocking. Okay. I think I brought enough power shards, but just to be sure. Oh, we got ourselves another one here. But it's like it's got to be protected. Ooh, it's a big boy. Okay, that's literally not what I wanted to do. But I clicked the thing and... That one sucks. Like, that one is just not very fun to fight. At least the spitting guys pose a little, like, threat from the range perspective. Okay, anything else we're missing over here? No? I think we're good. Okay. So now that we've got all the nodes connected, let's fill the cement in here and see how far off we are in... Like, I don't know if we'll even fit the 40 refineries on this. Maybe we'll do fuel generators on the other side of the underpass. So I built a lot off camera, and I'll show you, but what I will say is I built a big base location somewhere on the map. Kind of in this area here, right here somewhere. And really didn't like the way it was turning out, as one does, and then I deleted it. And then I started with a new location. Where the fuck did this guy come from? Okay, that was a lot easier than I expected it to be. Got ourselves a power slug up here. I feel like I saw this before, but maybe just got distracted with the enemies and didn't grab it. But anyway, let's finish building our platform here. And like that little island there's going to be a problem, so hopefully we don't need all of this space. And then the refineries could just fit on the spots like prior to that. And then we just run piping accordingly. We are going to use Mark II pipes. I unlocked all the research for these tiers. We don't have tiers 7 and 8 open just yet. I did not finish out the parts on the space elevator for that just yet, but I'm in no rush for that. I want to get our other base kind of started up. What that does give us is the ability for Mark IV belts, which we are going to use when possible. Okay, let's see. Alright, let's go back to our little home base here and see what we can actually fit on this. That's where the one oil refinery is. That's where the pump is. Every single night, the neighboring apartment complex has their fire alarms going off. Every single night. I don't know if it's just people are bad at cooking and that's what's going on, but it is quite annoying, if you ask me. Okay. So let's see what we need for the 4 oil extractors. And then we'll bring what we need for the 40 refineries. Shift clicking gives you 10 at a time, so you could do that if you wanted to, but clearly I didn't right there. Okay, so we need we're gonna have to get some stuff out of here, so I'll put the wire away for now, and then I'm gonna do a box for this crap for now. I will do this, however. So we get those additional 2 shards. And I'll keep those with me for right now because we will do the... Actually, I could just move these 2 in here. I just need the 1 stack for now. Okay, so let's see. I need 460 of these. So there's that. I need... I didn't label these, obviously, but whatever. There's that. Okay, I need the steel pipes. Okay. I was like, I better have brought copper pipes. Okay, so maybe we'll throw in some of this cable. We don't need all of that cable right now. Okay. And then just for good measure, let's take some plastic because we'll start building Mark II pipes if possible. But really, I want to just map out the refineries and see if we could fit 40 refineries on this platform. I don't think we can, but let's see how wrong I am. Autosave is getting increasingly crazier, as you would imagine, as you build more shit. Well, there's a hard drive up there. I definitely need to do some more hard drive hunting. Okay. So there's the 1. This will help us clear up some of the inventory as well. Lay these down. And since they're pure nodes, I think it's 300 at maximum, but we will overclock it to 600. And 600 is all that makes sense because, oh, it's 240. So we'll bring this up to 600 because that's the highest a Mark II belt or Mark II pipe can support. So there's really no point outside of it. And that's what we're building this entire thing on, of each of these pipes spitting out 600 to then convert it into fuel and then burn it into the fuel generators. I'm not doing a turbo fuel build right now, but I'm not opposed to it. I've built one in the past. It is definitely more efficient. And you are, for pure nodes like this, you're definitely talking a much bigger build. Okay, that's definitely not aligned. Okay, so 600 per minute. And let's say we start here. And we'll go this way. Is there room? Not enough. So let's start right back here. Okay, that's plenty of room. So if we're talking fuel, okay. First of all, we also have to deal with the polymer resin, but we'll just put that into a sink. Okay, so 60 crude oil. So that means we need 10 of these per pump. And we're not even going to mess around with like, they get their own like 2 foundations or whatever. I should count them out though, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This actually might work. If we do this. And we start the other ones like down here. So this one, let's say, just goes into this. So let's see what that would look like. I'll mark 2. Yeah, I'm not very particular on... I do want it to take it like a little bit further out maybe, because that just feels a little too close. Let's just go to here. Okay, and then I want to make sure that it doesn't intersect. Like, I don't want one of these towers or the supports blocking. And then we'll just literally go like that. Okay, so that would supply all of those. We didn't bring belts. We'll belt this up with Mark IVs. I'm letting the encased beams build up right now. Okay, let's start this one here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So that's going to be another row. And then actually what I'm thinking is, do I have the space to do another one facing this one? I think I do. It's not going to be very symmetrical, but we need this power, because the build that we want to do is honestly too large for the current power structure. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to do the other one like right here, but we'll split it just so that there's a line 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we had plenty of space. We will not have plenty of space for the fuel generators. That's guaranteed. And then these are all facing backwards, which, great. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So that clears up quite a bit of inventory. I wonder if I have enough. Let's build this one up. So there's a weird thing that's happening, and I don't know if it's intended, but the snap to world is like a toggle. And so anytime I do the button to snap to grid, it stays on, whereas like in the past it used to be a hold. So I don't know if that's intended or not, but it definitely throws me off sometimes where I'm like, how come I can't place this thing? And it's because it's a toggle. Okay, and here we're just going to use the Mark 1s to connect to it. We'll save some of the plastic. And I'm looking, and I feel like maybe we didn't bring enough pipes. But we'll find out. Okay, so these are all going to run fuel, so let's just set them. I can do copy and paste in the settings, but it honestly doesn't save that much time. If you could copy and paste just by looking at it, that's a different story. Okay, we're gonna have to pipe all of those up. Let's go get some more copper pipes, which I don't believe we have enough. So we might have to take a little trip back to our home base. But this is going to, look how big this setup is already, and that's just the 40 refineries. So think about how much power this is going to draw. Like right now, our grid supports like up to about 5K. We'll take a look at the power pole here. But this is going to produce 20K when we're done. 20,000 milliwatts. Or 20 kilojoules. I think that's the way that works. I'm not sure the exact ratios. Okay, yeah. So our production, okay, definitely not as high. Max consumption goes way higher. And obviously it's going to go up considerably higher when we add this to the mix, but okay. Yep, definitely didn't bring enough copper pipes or copper sheets. But you know what? Let's lay out. No, I was going to say let's lay out the power generators, but we're not there yet because we need to build 80 of those. So groups of 20. They're going to be overclocked because we need them. So normally we would need, we'll look at the math, but I think I can overclock it to be groups of 20. That's why we brought all the power shards with us. Okay. That's the problem here is, oh, we're going to need to put this on the other side. We need Mark IIs coming basically all the way out of this thing. And so this is an expensive line for us to run. Pipe is too long. Okay. Is that straight? It's here. And same thing with that one. I think, yep, that's aligned. Okay, so we'll do this one into that, and then the other two into those two. So that's how we're going to run this. So this is going to go to this side. So I'm going to do something a little bit different, like so, and then we're going to split here. And then we'll just build a straight line down. Oh yeah, I forgot that there's two on this line. So yeah, it stops to right here. Okay. Save us some pipes on the splitting. I mean, it's minimal, it's like 2 or 5, I guess, but well, maybe not even because we had to split right there, so whereas normally we wouldn't split right there. I steal a Mark 1? I sure can. And so whatever, that one... Okay, we'll just change it. And we're going to have to figure the belt lines for the polymer resin, because that's going to be fun. So I think that can just entirely be a Mark 1. Yeah, because from the split here, there's for sure no need. And honestly, like, we could probably pare down some of these here, but I don't care about doing the math right now. And because I realized that we would probably have to cross over, why don't we just take this one to this line? And then we'll take one of the other ones and just hook it up into that. And yep, let's... So it's not a bad build, it's just big and a lot of space. For that autosave though, huh? Save some materials here, we don't need that to be a Mark II. Then here, split this, and then we'll make that also a Mark I. And that middle click is so handy. Middle click for copy. Makes building giant stuff like this pretty easy. And I know we didn't set the recipes on these, but maybe we'll set those when we start dealing with... Okay, yeah, so we'll run the other line right there. And that should only be 10. Perfect, and we'll do it to here so that we have... Oh no, okay, so this is the output. Yeah. And I think I might do awesome sinks here for these. I brought enough materials for 10 awesome sinks, which I think should be enough. I don't know how many are going to be required for this, but... Yep, we definitely don't have enough material for this. That's good to know. Alright, so we need more plastic, we need more copper sheets. We're going to need a lot more of both because we haven't even hooked these up into our fuel generators yet. I mean, it's pretty clean right there though. I guess I could have just built each of these sets next to each of the pumps because there's plenty of room around them, but then we're still running all of the pipes to fuel generators in here. We can just wire them all up together and potentially, depending on, I have to look at the ratios for the polymer resin as that comes out, what that's going to look like for awesome sinks. I'll probably end up saving some of it. I don't know if we'll have a use for it, but better than not. Okay, let me dump some stuff so that we have a pretty clean inventory as we head back. Just making sure things go in the boxes for consistency. And then this one will be just like our excess crap. this. That in there, and I'll add the concrete in there. I'll add the plastic into that one. And we're going to have to bring some encased beams as well. So let's just get those in there. We're going to take a nice long journey over here and maybe just chat about some stuff because I wrote the factory cart. Because it doesn't require fuel, but also I should just add a stop here on the hypertube, which we can do. But anyway, it'll give me a little chance to chat about what's been going on here. So while we take the drive over, I've connected all of this with a road, this 4-tile long road that you see here. The outside 2 tiles will be for trains. The inside 2 tiles will be for driving a car like the Explorer, or if we want to use trucks or something like that, but probably the Explorer. Then I'm envisioning not quite like an overpass, but I mean this is an overpass, but like little pieces above where the hypertube will be going basically down the middle and then splitting off into respective areas as needed, I guess. But once we get trains running up and down the base, then this will be a nice little way for us to just navigate the map on a pretty quick basis with minimal effort required from us. I was thinking of this as the starter base is going to remain up for a little bit longer. Honestly, not too much longer considering the progress we're making on the actual main base, which I'll show you probably in another episode after we get these fuel generators and everything set up. So potentially next episode or the one after that, I'm not sure. But I'm building it to be modular is the best way I can describe it. So I'm building like an iron ingot smelting tower, meaning right now, and I'm also building it with the assumption of Mark V belts. So everything is built like as though I have Mark V belts, even though I clearly don't yet. I have the highest as Mark IVs. So Mark V belts are being built, or the tower is being built, and right now I have 4 smelting columns for Mark V belts. So it's 26 smelters for iron ingots, meaning it's 104 smelters for iron ingots alone, producing, oh boy, can I do? Oh, I can't do N here. So let's look at that. That's 30 times 26. So it's 8, 7. So it's 780 times 4. And so I did the 780 because of Mark V belts. Like, that's the max a belt is going to be able to hold as input and output. So 780 times 4, so we're talking about 2, 3, so 3,120 iron ingots per minute right now. And I have the capability, because I do have I have 2 train stops over on that side that pick up iron ore. I have the capability of doubling that as we speak. And the idea of it is literally one destination where all trains delivering iron ore come in and drop off their iron ore. It gets added into the iron ingot factory to be smelted, and then once it gets smelted, I'd like those to go onto trains to be then distributed to appropriate locations as needed also. So basically, the delivery of the materials from building to building will be done via trains, and making it super easy to, like, let's say, okay, for example, the iron ingot factory, the production of iron ingots, and then the iron belts, rods, and screws, they're right next to each other. So I could just belt over the belts for for each of those? Or what if I made it modular and said, hey, if you are carrying iron ingots, you have X, Y, and Z stops potentially that you could be going to. Because I'm thinking, for example, like steel in the future. I don't want to use the standard steel recipe where it's just iron ore and coal. I want to use iron ingots and coal. And so using that recipe, for one, it's more efficient, but two, I would have to bring iron ore into that location. Or I could just bring in the iron ingots and drop off. And so let's say the train is carrying iron ingots, stops over by where the plates, the rods, the screws are made, and those have run to maximum capacity and they no longer require anything. Well, it can just keep driving and drop it off at the steel factory. And so that's kind of the plan that I like it to follow. And then I'll have some that are just strictly dedicated to steel, but I'll have like overflow trains. So this is an overflow train that would be dropping off from like maybe the first 2, 3, 4 trains are dedicated to a production, and then all trains after that are overflows. It's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know. We're gonna see it play out, but it's my current plan, and it'll be a lot more modular because I'll be able to just bring in raw materials from around the world and feed them in, and it should just work. I'm going to take all of the copper sheets. I'm going to show you something when we get up to the top also that I did that I'm just going to say it. I'm not too proud of, but whatever. It is what it is. Sometimes you just got to do things. Over there, you'll see a temporary setup where I was feeding in materials to make computers, crystal oscillators, heavy modular frames, and then high-speed connectors over there. So I just had containers like so, and I would feed in the materials and just say, okay, go and handle it. Also, basically everything in the MAM is unlocked except for the programmable splitter. I can easily build that. And that includes the geothermal generators, which I think I have 3 of them already placed around the world. And remember, those are pure nodes. Like, where's one? Right there is one. I kind of have them all over the place. And then, so those work a little bit differently if you're not aware on the geothermals. They basically fluctuate. So it's like between 400 and 800 milliwatts. I think that's the ratio. But the lowest it drops is 400, and then the highest it produces is 800, which means you kind of need batteries to support that. Otherwise, you're in trouble. You can't rely on the 800. I mean, if you build everything according to 400, fine, then you're golden. But if you build it to 800, you're screwed. Unless you build a battery array to supplement it while it's dipping below the 800. So once we have this built, we should be okay with power for quite a bit. We might have to build a second one of these. And I might just repurpose the one that we have, we're using to produce plastic and rubber right now, eventually. Because I'm thinking we might utilize the area that's, I want to say it's like up here. It's just a whole bunch of oil nodes, and we just turn that into a plastic and rubber production. Just crank it through the roof just to try to get it all the way to the top. Now, I definitely considered using the pure Caterium and pure limestone and pure copper, pure iron ingot production with the refineries, But weighing the numbers, it's beneficial because it's a better ratio, but I don't really have to worry about the ratios as much as we're dealing with nothing but pure nodes, so that is going to outweigh it. Refineries take so much power that building a setup to get the same amount of resources, refineries, basically you're just paying for it in power. You're getting more materials out of it, but you're paying for it in power. And right now, power is the thing that's critical, whereas materials are not. And what I would like to do with this playthrough is get every single node filtered into our base and refined into something. So that's the plan. We'll see how that works. And that's a daunting task because we don't even have, I would say, 5% or whatever of the resource nodes. And keeping in mind that they're all pure means, like for example, for an iron node, which is probably the most plentiful resource, each iron node requires 26 smelters. Just think about how many smelters we would have to be running to get every iron node at full capacity smelted. So that's what I mean. We've got quite the challenge happening here. And even my system of just bringing in iron into one location, having it smelted there, is likely going to be tested. Now the building is 4 rows wide, so it does 4 at a time, 4 rows per level, which means, you know, if I'm raising it up 10 levels, we're doing 40 iron nodes, and that's a hell of a lot of iron nodes to be smelting at pure efficiency, considering that 7,800 for every 10 iron nodes. We're getting 7,800 iron ingots per minute. So times 40, we're talking about like 35, 30, no, 32-ish thousand maybe? Yeah, 32-ish thousand iron ingots per minute. That's, build whatever you want at that point, right? And repeat that for copper, repeat that for limestone, repeat that for caterium, quartz. It's going to be excessive, but that's exactly what we want, right? We want to go excessive here. We're already at the 1 hour mark on this, and honestly, I thought I planned out the needs of this pretty well, but I guess I just didn't anticipate the amount of, it's always the thing that I forget about or just like don't anticipate enough of, is the amount of pipe work that's required. Like how much pipes really dig into slowing down this build. And to bring all these materials over here, I had to do this trip like 3 or 4 times. So maybe at one point I should have just thought, hey, why don't I just stop the hypertube at our location and then build an entrance there both ways. You know, hindsight is 20/20, right? But it's not a terribly long drive, it's just a few minutes. And it's a relatively scenic drive. Okay, so I'm going to dump those for now. We're going to take at least a couple of stacks of each of these because we need it for supports. And then, nope, not those. We need a few of those for supports. And then we'll come back and do the I really wish there was a way to just like not have something in your hands easier than unequipping it. probably going to take damage, yep, but who cares? A little bit faster here. I don't remember, is this the last one we need? No, this one is going to that set. We're going to bring the other one from over there. In. I'll take it to here. I really hope we left ourselves enough room for all the combinations of the pipes. I don't think we'll need more than one for each flow though, because I think this output's 40, so meaning it's just going to be 400, which makes it a lot easier for us to deal with that. I mean, I guess we could combine a couple. Oh, speaking of which, like, 4 400s equals 1600 divided. Do we want to do that math, or do we want to just deal with building separate arrays? 1600 divided by 3 is... No, divided by 6 is 2 and change. So 3 total pipes instead of 4 total pipes. Is that worth it to do that math? Probably not. Okay. So that's piped up. This is going to be a hell of a draw for us at the start. And what we're going to do is preload the oil in. And I'm honestly thinking, like, do we just fire up one row just to give us the power for the other rows? I don't know. Because we are going to hit a breaking point. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so this one can run to the middle, and then we'll deal with it when it gets added to this line. Okay, here, and we'll easily do it to that, and that should keep it on this side of the foundation. Okay, it's here. And then this, we'll take it to here. Yep. And then this will go directly to the first one we built. Okay, this mark 1, it is. Alright, so all of these are hooked up. Now, yep, I don't have cable with me. So, okay, so we're good on that piping. So I am going to do that. We are going to build our first row of fuel generators. We're going to need, we'll do it this way. Pipes for belts for plastic. So now we're going to grab all of our materials for our first row of fuel generators. Power, and it's how many per? 20 per? We'll look at the ratios. But I think it's 20. So we're going to start our first 20 and we'll kick that off, get additional power onto the grid, and then we'll deal with the other ones. Because the power we kick off from one of these on the grid should be sufficient enough to run the remainder for us. As I was saying, a longer episode today. But, oh, one thing I wanted to also add is I'm thinking like a train station right here. And potentially that's where we'll have the polymer resin spitting out, which we still have to deal with, but before we kick off that very first row. Okay, so we need that. We need 1,000 of those. Okay, 1,000 rubber. Super helpful to just have that up when you're dealing with this stuff. Let's grab a little bit of that, just so that we, yep, and then we need some cable. We're definitely not going to take up all of this space. Okay, 300, and just 200 of that. Let's take those just to clean that up a bit. And then definitely let's take a stack of 100 of those, because I think we're going to need it. Okay, I definitely was checking to see if that water was deep enough. Thank God it was. Always beneficial to stop and grab some of those. They do respawn, which is nice. So you can always come back and farm them, but... which row are we going to kick off? Maybe we'll kick off this far one, because it's so kind of compact. We probably should have brought more concrete. Yeah, we should have brought more concrete, but it's okay. I want them to start like here. Let's have them start like from this on. And is this going to be a problem or not? Okay, that's not a problem. So we're going to build out that way. I like to build big, as you could tell. So iron ore. We're going to need to dig this up because we'll not be able to place a building there, I don't think. I should cut those down. So that they don't pop up in the middle of our build, but we can deal with that later if it becomes an actual issue. This will be kind of cool too, because we'll see the fuel generators from our highway as we go by it. I mean, this is for sure not a big enough platform for all of them, for all 80. But honestly, I was surprised that those were not so bad. So I'm going to build these like, so this one is going to be like way over on this side. But we'll allow for pipes to run in, so floor is too steep. Okay, so let's start it here. Okay, 2. Yeah, 3. These are fucking huge. Look how big they are. So we need them to be Oh, we're back to the fucking... Okay, let's go get more concrete. So look how big that, like, the footprint of those is. So that's 3, which actually means I want to do 8 rows of 10. So one pipe goes down the middle, which we still have to do that pipe work. But one pipe goes down the middle, and it splits off to either sides of it, making it super easy to just split it. Nope. Yeah, this is a pretty big build. I mean, it's not crazy. It's not like a, oh, we've got, you know, 200 refineries and 600 fuel generators. And that might be the case later when we transition this potentially to turbo fuel. But as it stands, ooh, I probably need a lot more concrete. Maybe we'll go get concrete from our other base if I need it. I mean, that seems like a good amount though. Oh, let's get in the deep water. Oh, not deep enough apparently. I have so many of those inhalers. It's awesome to just be able to like pop one, be right back at full health, not worry about it, not worry about eating that crap. Alright, so we're going to build this out, and it doesn't look like it's actually going to intersect with our bridge, which is even better. Maybe we can incorporate that bridge into our design when we actually finish up the power plant design instead of just having it be this hodgepodge. Okay, so I think that's 5. Yep, that's 5. Okay, so we need it to be twice as big. That's 6, 7. The nice thing about fuel generators, no output out of them. Oh yeah, look at that. That's plenty big. Wait, what? How did that just randomly build? 9, 10? Is that right? Yep. So let's say that the line comes in on this middle piece. So then I want the other one to be here. Oh, almost. It's nice too when you get like one of these lines built. Everything just snaps. Okay. Ooh wee, that's a big freaking setup right there. Okay. So now that we've got that, well, I think we've got plenty of material to actually build this out. The other ones you could build just back to back. Like, I would just build the next line like literally right there, and then space, space. We could actually probably get all 4 lines before that island, which is kind of what my hope is. Okay, so let's deal with the excess out of here. And that's going to be these, and then these. We're going to build this up. And then also remembering that we've got to take this into awesome sinks. So we're doing 40 fuel per minute, which means we're going to get 400 out of this. Well, we got to look at the ratios over there as well, and then see, can we actually get away with overclocking? Do we have enough materials for overclocking or not? Okay. How do I want to do this? Do I want to put it here to give plenty of room? Yeah, fuck it, why not? Because then we'll have plenty of room for the resin to come out. And this one can just go like so. We're using a Mark II line here because a Mark I supports 300 and here we need 400. So we're just going to use the 600. Again, we're doing it so it doesn't actually conflict with any of the inputs. Except for the last, well, we'll do that, and then what we'll actually do. I felt like that was off a little bit. And sometimes it snaps easy, and sometimes it's not great. Okay, like for example there, that was a weird snap. I need to extend the autosave timer. 5 minutes is too frequent. Okay, and we just run Mark 1s in because none of these are going to require more than 300 per minute. So we're going to look at the ratios here in a second, and then honestly we're going to, well, we'll build up the polymer resin, and then we'll kick this one off. And then over here we'll save some materials and just get rid of that. Okay, so how much fuel does it eat? So I want to pull up Satisfactory calculator. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but I'm just going to pull it up really quick. And I'm going to pull up, actually I'm not on Satisfactory calculator, but I'm on official Satisfactory wiki. And it's a power generator building, so I want to see a fuel generator. Brings in 12 per minute. And here we're producing 40 or 400. So that means we would need 33.33. But if I take it to produce, each one produces 20, then we can produce 20, right? But what is the difference between 12 and 20? So I need this up to 166, is that right? 167 maybe? So that means I need 2 shards in each of these. I can't copy settings here because I think it's just literally, I think that is the correct ratio. So you can see we are going to go through our power shards pretty quick because we are going to use 2 for every 20. So we're going to basically use 160 power shards on reducing the size of this build. I could always add additional power generators, our fuel generators later. But getting the materials to build all of this took legitimately like a half a day, not even a full day, to have the materials to build all of these fuel generators, refineries, and such. So yeah, it was very time consuming, and I wanted to kick this off. And worst case scenario is I get the materials for the additional 14, and we make this each row is 34 long instead of 20 long, and then remove the power shards. By putting power shards into a generator is not a bad use of the power shard. It's like putting in power shards where you want power shards to go into things that cap you on a limit, actually. So like you want power shards going into your oil pumps. You want power shards going into your miners, because you can't place more than one of those on a node. And if you're capped, you're capped. But that actually makes me think, like, we're going to need quite a few power shards, because if we're going to mine all the resources at full purity, we're going to need full power shards. All right, so that's fully up and running, or fully created. We're going to end this episode when that is kicked off. And it's obviously not yet, so we don't need those right now. We will take these, and I don't know if I have enough to get all the splitters and stuff. So how much does this go? 30? 30 times 10, so that's 300, and a Mark 4 carries 480. So we could just run them all on one. Fantastic. That is exactly what we're going to do. So let's get these mergers maybe right here. Is that snapping to the center of it? It is. Okay, and that one seems alright. I want it all to go this way. Thank you very much. Oh. My misclicks. How terrible. I just realized also we haven't actually connected the fuel. So that's unfortunate. And I'm just going to say fuck it. We're going to use Mark 4s all the way around. I'm not even going to mess with like Mark 1s in between. We're just going to say get everything out of here as fast as possible. And then later on it'll be a lot easier for us to convert the maybe there's a use for us to have for polymer resin. I don't freaking know, so we're going to leave that as an option open later. I don't know. I feel like that should be plenty. So we're just doing Mark 1s all the way down. Boom. Is that lining up? It is. Okay. It's nice. It kind of like stops when it's properly lining up. So that can be a Mark 1 also. And there's going to be like some slight clipping here maybe, like when the materials pass over, when the polymer resin passes over, but Let's see if we blow our grid though when we connect this up. Because this is a giant power draw. And then I'm going to do an awesome sync. Oh, that requires reinforced iron plates. Do we have any here? Nope. We don't need these either. Let's grab that. And we'll just start bringing power on the way down also. And I think we'll bring it down roughly to here. And then run it. We won't run it to these pumps just yet. I don't need these pumps activated until we at least get our first set of generators up and running. I mean, all said and done, I feel like this is a pretty clean build. And it will be 100% efficient, which is nice. It's always nice when you can make it absolutely 100% efficient. So let's see, we need 40, 80, 120 more power shards to make it 100% efficient. Alright, so we came here to grab some reinforced iron plates. Let's just take the stack. And do we have enough cable? I'm not sure. Let's take that stack in addition. I think we should be good there. And then this will be powered by probably by a train line later. I'm still debating how I want to set up a control room for power in the future. So that's on the cards. I just don't know how I'm going to route all of the power lines back to the base that allows me to control it from one central location. If I'm like, for whatever, turn off the power generators. Okay, definitely didn't mean to do that. But while we're here, why don't we just add in... That's where we're going to want it to end up, I think. And obviously, like, this platform is going to stay like this. I like the idea of being able to access the power plant from our bridge there. Okay, so it's right there. I know it's going to be a power line too long before we get there. Is it this one? It is. It's this one. Okay, and let's just take this all the way down. And so we're going to looking to hook it up to that, as well as all of these, all of these. Okay, how am I going to do this? I want... Okay, I'm going to do it like this, where we bring it to here, then I'm going to jump. And then I'm going to do another line right here, because I want it to be basically... Okay, start the oil flowing. And then we're just going to... So that's those two, so this one will be those two. I'm going to keep it somewhat symmetrical. Okay. And then we do an awesome sync right here at the end of the line. then we'll just literally go like so, line it up, boom. Okay, so the fact that we've got polymer resin is good. By the way, we've got fucking tickets galore. Now we gotta add that into the mix, which means I'm going to bring this line down to here, and then I want to be very careful on how we tackle this. Okay, so I'm going to go to here, and then I'm going to go to here, and then we're going to do this basically the same way we just did. The difference is it's going to be straight up in. See, I knew I should have fucking cut that thing down. Well, fuck it. It's just gonna sit on top of it for right now until we figure out how to cut it. Well, we know how to cut it. I just don't have the tools with me. So all of these should be showing white lights. Right. Did I go too? Yeah. Okay, I went too soon. Auto save again. We're gonna extend that to like 10-15 minutes. Okay. So we've got 4 of the generators kicked off. I bet you we were running on battery power there for a second. We'll check the grid here in a second. This is gonna be pretty overwhelming until we've kicked on these power generators. Something is okay. Okay, they're very, very rarely coming on. Okay, look at this graph. It's fucking wild. All right, let's watch this kick up. We want them all to be white. White means overclocked, by the way. Yellow means underserved. Red means not at all. So like underserved right here. Now it's white. It's as the pipe flows, as the fuel starts flowing down. It's going to be a slow build up. That's why I didn't want to just hook up everything all at once, because there's no way that we would get the appropriate amount of fuel into anything. See? So like, it'll only, I think, kick off once it gets to 1 fuel. And eventually this will be completely saturated. $17.83. Oh, we want 20. 17.8. Did they change? Maybe the percentage is different. So that means it should actually be running better than it is. So let's say I take this up to 175, 18.46. Let's say I take it up to 200. Okay, so like 199. No. 195. 194. Okay, so 194%. Weird. Same thing here? Yeah. Okay, so the wiki site is off in... Maybe they changed this at some point, and then the wiki site didn't update. And I would rather underclock it on the I'd rather underclock it so it's receiving that than being just over. Okay. Let's see what this will produce also for us here in a bit. Wait, was that ratio off? Oh, no, it is. It's okay. So this is why you want it to like kick off a little bit and test it. So now, as you can see, a lot of these are up and running. Our grid should be relatively stabilizing. It might be running a little erratically right now because we are overclocking these. But let's see what this results in. Okay. We're almost there, just a couple more. And this is something I'll probably end up doing off camera for the remainder of the setup, as you saw basically how one leg of this gets built, and then there's just 3 more of these to go. Sometimes. Oh. Interesting. Oh, that was also weird. Like, it freaked out for a second there. Okay, yeah, these need to catch up. 194. And yeah, so these last ones are running not at full capacity just yet. It'll catch up there because I think, yeah, see, this is building up higher than it is consuming. Yep, just very, very slightly. You see this number keeps going up every time it resets, which means that's going to spill over and spill over. So like these last ones are always going to be running a little inefficiently. All right, so now our capacity is 83 or 88. Let's see what's our highest. 89, 91, 92, 93. So I think we're finally kicking up into a more, this will stabilize. And then production is what we really care about. Capacity means it's like our biomass setup plus our batteries. So definitely don't want to rely on that number. You want to rely on production number. As long as your production is exceeding your mass consumption, you should be fine. And okay, so these all seem to be running well. We're going to just check up on the refineries just to be sure. And then if that's all looking good and we didn't miss a setup on there, I think we'll probably call it on the video. Okay, those look good. We'll just walk all of this to make sure that they are receiving appropriate oil. 50 out of 60, yep. 50 divided by 6. Okay. Yeah, you can see that the priority is at the front, and here's we're getting overflow, so it's definitely not as fully capped yet. And there might be some stutters in the line here briefly, and that's what's causing fuel production to be lower, and therefore less power efficient. So like these setups take a little bit to get going, but once they get going, you're kind of golden. You don't have to worry about them. So yeah, I think we're going to call the video here. I think this was a pretty successful build. All in all, no real problems outside of one of these generators missing one power shard. And then also the fuel efficiencies were a little off. So super strange. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. This was a super long video, and we're probably not going to have more of these longer ones in the well, I can't promise that. But I'm going to try to go back to our usual between 30 and 30-minute and 1 hour long videos, just to keep it a little bit more consistent upcoming. So Thanks so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying the series. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And I'll catch you in the next one.